Maya stood at the base of the mountain, her backpack heavy and her heart heavier. The air was cold and crisp, but her palms were sweating. Everyone in her village said climbing the mountain was impossible. It was called the Silent Peak, because no one who went up ever spoke of returning. But Maya wasn't climbing for fame or glory. She was climbing because she needed to prove something to herself. A year earlier, Maya had failed the village's toughest test, a test of endurance and skill meant to choose the next guardian of their valley. Her friends had passed. She had stumbled, fallen, and quit halfway. The shame burned deep. Since then, she trained every dawn, running through forests, lifting stones, and learning from every mistake. The mountain, she decided, would be her redemption. She began the climb at sunrise. The path was steep, scattered with loose rocks that rolled away at the slightest touch. Each step felt heavier than the last, but Maya kept her eyes on the path. By midday, clouds gathered. Rain lashed her face, blurring her vision. The wind howled through the cliffs, tugging at her clothes as if urging her to turn back. She slipped more than once, scraping her knees, but each time she fell, she forced herself up again. Her muscles ached, but her spirit refused to yield. When night fell, she found a small cave to rest in. Her hands shook as she lit a small fire. She ate the last of her bread, staring at the flickering flames. Doubt crept in like the cold. Maybe they were right. Maybe I can't do this. But then she remembered the laughter of her friends who had moved ahead in life, the disappointed look in her teacher's eyes, and the quiet hope in her mother's voice when she said, "You'll find your way, Maya." She smiled faintly. "I'm not turning back." The next morning, the mountain tested her again. The path vanished under snow. Each breath came out in white puffs, each step sinking deep. But when her legs threatened to give out, she looked up, and saw it. The summit, bathed in golden light. Something within her roared alive. She climbed faster, her fingers numb but her will blazing. When she finally reached the top, she fell to her knees, tears mixing with snow. The valley stretched far below, glowing in the morning sun. She raised her arms and shouted, not in triumph, but in gratitude. She had done it. Not because she was the strongest or fastest, but because she refused to quit. When Maya descended the mountain days later, the villagers gathered in awe. "You climbed the Silent Peak?" they asked. She smiled. "No," she said softly. "I climbed myself." Moral: the greatest mountains we climb are not made of rock and ice, they're made of doubt, fear, and failure. But every step forward, no matter how small, brings us closer to who we are meant to be.
Please, like, share and subscribe for more stories.